We are inside the 2024 Porsche Cayenne and we're gonna go for a drive. Let's test out the acceleration. I mean, that's not bad. Out of a 3-liter V6 twin turbo, 348 horsepower, that's all I'm gonna expect when I need to merge onto the highway, get up to speed in a couple seconds, and there's no problem. Porsche Cayenne does have a lot of other models between the Cayenne S and the Turbo and the Turbo GT and the Turbo S Hybrid if you want to have more power. But in this, we're going to be testing out the base version of the Cayenne to see how everything else is. Because while you can add more power to it, your interior is going to stay the exact same. This is the GT Sport steering wheel. We have the full digital gauge cluster. We have the full touchscreen infotainment system. And then we have the new redesigned area for the transmission controller. I mean, I guess the gauge cluster is redesigned. The infotainment system is a little bit updated. And there is a option for a passenger display screen. This car doesn't have it because it doesn't have the technology package or has as an individual option. No head-up display, but we're going to explore everything else so we have a good idea of what it's like to have a daily life in the Cayenne. I've got to say, overall, I'm already impressed. My number one favorite feature is the new generation of the steering wheel. It's all black, nice flat trim, very minimalistic controls on the steering wheel here. And the airbag is so small and tight and circular and perfect. And the spot they have the heated steering wheel is so cool. There's a small hidden button right underneath here. I push that, you'll see heated steering wheel's off, heated steering wheel's on. Very tucked away and discreet. I absolutely love it. Before we get farther into the drive, I want to give you guys an experience of what this car looks like on the outside. Check out the back seats and the trunk area to have a feel. So let's get into the outside of the vehicle. All right, so let's explore the exterior on this 2024 Porsche Cayenne. We have the whole new front fascia. This one does have the tinted Matrix HD LED headlights. We do have the 20-inch winter tire package on this vehicle because it is cold here in Canada. I always like to point out the key fob that you get with the vehicles. I'm just gonna open up the trunk space a little bit. We have the upgraded sport tailpipes. We have the upgraded trailer tow hitch. This is all the cargo room you are getting at the back. Privacy cover that comes out. And then underneath the rubber mat at the back here. It's a little tight, but you have an inflatable spare tire. When you're ready to close, click that button. Coming into the back seat, I like how Porsche still has like a grappling door handle instead of coming up underneath. We have the rear seats. One thing I like is there is an adjustable pitch at the back here, and with a manual lever right here, you can move the whole seat forward. That's pretty far forward to maximize that rear cargo room. And then that's as far back it's gonna go to give as much legroom as possible. This one does have the rear climate control system, and you can see we have rear heated seats, 2 USB-C chargers. Taking a look at the driver's seat, we have the Porsche crest in the headrest, very large panoramic sunroof. And let's get inside because it's freezing. All right, now let's get back on the road. All right, now we'll continue on with the drive. So we're gonna get a little bit feel for the highway drive. We've got a little bit of that acceleration at the beginning. We're gonna play around with the infotainment system, explore that so you guys know what it's like to be in the infotainment system. We do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Both are wireless, which I like. Not a lot of other companies are offering it as wireless. Everybody's trying to come on board with that. Down below, we have this aluminum knurled trim, which is pretty nice. There's a lot of knurled surfaces everywhere, so the transmission controller, new for 2024, instead of having the bulky stick, it's just a simple toggle up here, kind of pulled over from the Porsche Taycan, but it has that knurled surface for the gear lever. All of these climate control buttons have a knurled surface, little knurled surface on this compartment door here, which inside there would be a wireless device charging tray and 2 USB-C charging ports. Push that to close it. There's knurled surface on the top of this drive mode. We have been in sport mode. We do have normal and off-road. So the base, you get 3 modes. We're just gonna drive around in sport mode because I want maximum power out of this 3-liter twin turbo V6. It's a nice, cold, sunny day here. Now, our test drive, we do have the winter tire package on this vehicle, so we're gonna have a little bit more plush in the rubber compared to the 21-inch wheel that this car would normally have. Now, the Porsche Cayennes, everything with Porsche is very a la carte. Everything is an option with the vehicle, and there is a lot of options to add on the vehicle. So every car is going to be different between having 20-inch standard wheels, upgraded 21-inch wheels, or 22-inch wheels. There is a lot of variety that you're gonna get on a Porsche Cayenne. If you're going into a dealership to purchase one of these and you're trying to get one off a lot, it's going to be really hit and miss if it has the options that you want. If you're looking for more of the higher end options, maybe you want the air suspension, you want the rear wheel steering, some of those options you're not going to find at a dealership. You're going to have to factory order that car, and you're going to be looking at 6+ months to place a factory order. Like right now it's December. If you wanted to order a vehicle, you're looking at a February allocation, February, March, April, you're looking at a May, June delivery. So almost 6 months to fulfill a Cayenne order. We're just gonna head back up so that we can head south onto the highway again. But let's explore, before we get into the infotainment system, let's explore a little bit of the gauge cluster. I gotta say though, going around these corners, this car, even with the winter tires, is solid, it's planted. But that's one thing you can expect with Porsche is fine handling and performance. The steering is tight, but it's comfortable. The suspension is tight, but it's plush. The engine is smooth, but it is aggressive when you wanna put your foot down. It just launches forward. It is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. The Cayenne is one of the only Porsches that does not have a PDK transmission and actually has a torque converter automatic instead of a dual clutch transmission. But the gauge cluster, this is one of the big things that's new for 2024. You have this fully customizable gauge cluster, fully digital, very customizable. Right now you'll see that you have the maps in the center. You can adjust that. It doesn't need to be the map. There's a couple other options, and you're going to control that from the right side of the steering wheel here. You toggle up and down on this. So right now we're on the right screen, and you'll rotate through. We have music. If we had GPS on, that's one thing I do like to always show is the GPS. So let's try out the navigation, and we'll navigate back to the dealership. Once again, thank you to, well, not once again, but thank you to Porsche Center, downtown Toronto. I like how I can type in. Oh, now it's paused. That was interesting that it was allowing me to do it, and then it's not. Usually it asks, you know, make sure you are the passenger. Maybe it sensed that I'm the passenger. It could be the distraction gauge up here. We'll just do it quickly here. Porsche service. We want downtown Porsche. If you guys are in the Toronto marketplace and you're looking to purchase this Cayenne or any other Porsche, you guys can feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna email down below and be happy to help you guys out with that purchase, as I am on the sales team here at Porsche Center downtown Toronto. So now we have a look at what the navigation, the standard Porsche navigation looks like. You can see it in the gauge cluster as well. And if you had the head-up display, it would project into the head-up display. But we were showing the gauge cluster. So let's rotate through this dial here. Radio. You can see on the side, there's a little white toggle going up, letting you know which ones, and that's kind of maxed out. Click down on the button, it's going to rotate. Click down again. I'm getting a little confused here. Click down, route guidance, so we can select what we want to see here. It's this one, we want to click on the right side, and now you can see that it's highlighting on the left side of the screen. G-force meter, current tire pressure. Then we'll click again. Now we're going to be adjusting the center. So if we go down from this one, you get full map view. I like this one because you don't really need any of that information. The biggest thing that you need is your kilometers, and your kilometers per hour is in a nice digital one right up at the front there, the top. But if you want to go down, you can have this kind of reduced mode where it just kind of keeps this kilometers in the center, a little bit of map on the right, what's the speed limit on the left. Go back up to the map, smaller map, and then this one is for the assistant. So we do have active cruise control. Actually, yeah, we do have active cruise control on this one. So it's all from this toggle down here. One thing I'd like with some of the brands is that the cruise control is on the steering wheel. This one's kind of off to the side. But we do have active cruise control. You can see that it's set. got a snow plow ahead of us. We're gonna be getting off here. So then moving up from the assistant mode, you then have the tachometer mode, which is the traditional Porsche. Porsche like to keep the tachometer in the very center, speed in the center, and then you can go up as well, and now you just get more information. Now if the map wasn't on, you'd see two smaller ones on the side of the gauge cluster like this one is, but for some reason it's not disappearing. There we go, and there we go. And then you can go through, you can edit which ones that you're going to see. So a lot of custom ability with this gauge cluster. Personally, I like the big map one, is my favorite. Now if we got to explore the infotainment system a little bit, man, the handling is so tight going around corners, accelerates up to speed, no problem, very comfortable. Really hear the RPMs holding in that gear. We are in sport mode. Go back to normal mode. Do have paddle shifters, but when do you ever actually use paddle shifters in an automatic car? We're not at the racetrack, we don't need paddle shifters. Set the active cruise control. We'll have a very large distance. So right now, gas, brake, cars handling that. One thing that I do love about this is if you're driving normally, you're going forward, put your foot on the brake, and then you put down a little bit extra, it goes automatic brake hold. And it does that automatically. There's no way to turn that on. Actually, there is a way to turn it on or off in the system, but there's no button for it. In other vehicles, there's like auto hold button. I liked how Porsche doesn't need to be a button. We just take that button away. The system just does it automatically. And when you put the vehicle in park, it automatically engages the parking brake for you. So there is no button for the parking brake anymore because it does it automatically. As soon as the car's in park, parking brake should be engaged. I like how Porsche has done that automatically. Now we play around with the infotainment system. You have navigation, then you have your media. Media is going to be your satellite radio, your FM, your AM. You also have direct to Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, and Spotify. You can go directly into the car, not through your phone. Vehicle, there's the air conditioning menu. So while you do have your air conditioning quick controls down here, you have your temperature, ventilated seats, heated seats, and it's like this whole panel moves when you click on the button. Rear climate defrost, front defrost, the temperature, the fan. The air conditioning menu will give you a little bit more, and you can set it where the air is going to come out soft, it's going to be strong. That kind of dictates like it's going to blow it in your face or not, where you want the air coming out. If you want the air quality on the inside for the ionizer, you can turn that on through here. Auxiliary vents, venting, and then you can set the rear temperature from the front here as well. Notifications for if any notifications pop up. There's two kind of vehicle settings that you can go through. There's settings and there's vehicle and there's settings. We'll get back to that in a little bit. You do have parking. So if you want to go into your parking settings, home link. So if you want to program in the garage door openers, that's all going to be done through the home link. You can go right into adding and deleting devices. You can see a lot of people test drive unit car, a lot of devices are plugged in. The Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto, if there's any updates. And then there's actually video, so you could watch and screenplay videos through the Screen Hits app. So, and then if you had the passenger display screen, you can also be watching videos on the passenger display screen through Screen Hits. I don't want to get too much into it. You can swipe down for a little bit more. Calendar, weather, news. You can swipe to the right. This one took us some quick menus, satellite radio, ambient lighting color. If you go into vehicle here, interesting that it does that for safety. So you can go in through, start with drive, so drive modes, auto, start, stop, assist, adaptive cruise control, additional functions, all of your safety settings, trip, swipe through, comfort. This is where you find the ambient lighting, kind of like a hidden menu. You can set the brightness in different areas, and you can set the color. So right now it's on dark blue, warm white, cold white, Atlantis, lemon green, and dynamic. I like dynamic. It will go to the music, which is pretty cool. You can also adjust the passenger seat from the driver's side. You can go through some driver's seat settings between the heating and ventilation balance. Comfort entry, so when you get out of the vehicle, it's going to push the steering wheel forward, push the seat back, allow you to have as much room as possible when entering and exiting the vehicle. And that's pretty much everything in that vehicle menu. And then you have your settings menu, and this is where you're going to get into like displays, the units, the time, all of that stuff is going to be in here. Like if you had head-up display, you customize what you're going to see in the head-up display, central display, instrument. If you had the passenger display, that'd be showing up here too. There's brightness. What I recommend, turn the brightness all the way down, or else it's just like so much at nighttime. Audio, media, navigations, more vehicle settings, tire pressure, assistance settings, speed warming, lane change assist. Somewhere's in there where you can do the active automatic brake hold. It is touchscreen, so your fingerprints kind of do go up there. There is no redundant controller here. You do have this pouch for your key or your phone, 2 cup holders inside, decent amount of storage space. But that is pretty much all I've got for this video. Hope you guys appreciate the virtual test drive on the 2024 Cayenne. If you guys are in the Toronto marketplace and you're looking to purchase one of these vehicles, I'll leave an email down below where you can reach out to me. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for future videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.